Now that was meant in good jest. Good morning, YouTube. As you can see, it's another snow day. It's been a nice snow year. People of South Dakota over here are saying this is not normal with how much snow we've had, but I don't care. I've enjoyed every moment of it. So what we got going on today? So we've got the Expedition hooked up to a U-Haul trailer, and we are taking a 2.5 hour drive to somewhere to buy something that we rented the U-Haul trailer for. Now, keep in mind, we got 4 inches. Well, now it's 4 inches. It melted a lot overnight, but we had between 4 and 6 inches of snow the other day. Here it is. Here's the results. Things are still buried. Typically, anytime I haul a trailer, I take this Super Duty because it's a Super Duty. But with the freeways being all iced over and snowy and everything else, the Super Duty sucks on the ice. It's got the limited slip rear, which is great. It's so, I don't know, it just slides everywhere. I got 12.5 inch wide tires on it, and they just float on the ice rather than, you know, grabbing anything. Plus, they're not winter rated tires. So the Expedition, we've got the Falcon Wild Peaks on it. It's heavier, it sticks to the ground way better. It's got the V8 engine, the 5.4 V8, and it's got automatic 4-wheel drive. So if I feel like it's kind of slippery, I don't have to lock it and leave it in 4-wheel drive, burning up the, you know, everything. I can just let it do its thing. And yes, the automatic 4-wheel drive kicks in pretty dang quick on this thing. I'm actually really impressed. So that's why I'm not taking the Super Duty, but why not take the Titan? Well, I could, except this is my wife's car and she has not been driving it at all for like the last month. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna use it. Plus the Titan, that rear suspension is so freaking soft. Even this little tiny lightweight trailer sinks at like 3 inches. It's ridiculous. It sinks the Expedition about 1 inch, so, or it rides better. So I knew this when I bought the Titan. The Titan is not a work truck. It is what I use as a commuting truck for very solid reasons. So we are going to hit the road. Don't worry, I'm not gonna take you with me. I mean, I am, but I'm not gonna take you with me the whole time. We're just gonna hit the road, start driving. We got this all hooked up, blah, 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 yada, yada. And yeah, let's go. All right, guys, we are on our way. We just fueled up at the oh, I should have reset that mileage. Yep, there we go. Just fueled up at the gas station and we are headed out. 2 hours and 20 minutes going on. It's going to be a nice slippery drive, but that's okay. I'm assuming once we get on the freeway, things will clear up a little bit. The sun's pretty much up, so whatever moisture was on the road should be evaporating pretty quick. So yesterday the high was -7 degrees. Today the high is supposed to be 40. Overnight, so when we went to bed last night about 9 o'clock, it was -8 outside. And when I woke up this morning at 6, it was 29. So it's weird. Arizona, the temperature, this is not scientific, this is just my observation. In Arizona, the temperature is controlled by the sun. Out here, it seems to be way more so controlled by the wind. Case in point, -8 last night. When we went to bed, 29 when I got up this morning, or whatever it was. So it's pretty interesting how it works up here. It's kind of cool, actually. You never know. I mean, you know, because you have weather channels, but you never really, it's just, I don't know, it's cool. So anyway, we've got our GPS going on the stereo. If you want to see the install video on that, go check out the channel. There's a playlist where we installed that stereo from the stock one. We've got a little pond fishing going on with the Davison Brothers Band, and I'll see you guys in a little while. Alright, it's a fun little story. We're only about, oh, I don't know, 20 minutes outside of town. We've already dropped from 29 degrees to -6, 7. Wow. So we're dropping fast. Let's see if it drops again. Yep, there's -8. Yeah, it's getting cold out here. The further from the mountains we go, the colder it gets. Like, fast. So I find that interesting only because of how fast it's dropping. It's quite entertaining. -9. Might be in for a cold day after all. I just made the assumption that it was going to be, you know, around 30 to 40 degrees where I was going to. I did not wear a heavy enough jacket for any colder than -10. So this might get interesting, but that's okay. Yep, there's -10. Wowzerooskies, guys, it's going to be a cold day. So that's something that I really enjoy about South Dakota, is the fact that the roads are for the most part wide open. And I know that's something you guys are used to if you live in a more rural area, a less populated area, but coming from the Arizona area, I just love hitting these freeways. The biggest issue with that is, let's say we hit a patch of ice right now, slide off the road, end up in the ditch, and I'm stuck and I can't get out. You're kind of on your own. Like literally on your own. That's the only issue I see. Other than that, I really enjoy South Dakota freeways, man. Just free flying for hours. So I find it interesting how fast the temperature changes here. So you saw a few minutes ago, probably 15, 20 miles ago, the temperature is just dropping, nose diving to the negatives. Or nose diving in the negatives, and now about 15 miles later we're all the way up to 21 degrees positive. So yeah, I find that entertaining how fast it changes. It's interesting to me, that's all. There's a lot more snow on the road over here. It doesn't seem slippery yet, or maybe I just can't tell it's slippery, but I'm just gonna keep on trucking. Alright guys, here's what's up. I'm holding you on a weird mount because you know, it's not the same mount as normal, but that's okay. We got dumpster expedition. This just handled phenomenally, by the way. We just drove through 1.5 feet of snow. So we picked this up at this guy's storage unit here. Whew. Way down there, pulled out to exchange money. But that's like 1.5 feet deep down there. But what we bought is a 2001 Kawasaki Vulcan 1500 Drifter. This is going to be the next project. Yes, it has a seat. Seat's broken. We need a seat before anything. We also need a battery. We also need a charging system because this is not starting. That said, I went and I bought a $16 set of cables at the local auto store, and we were able to jump it with the battery from the truck, and it does run. As soon as you disconnect the cables, it dies. So need a charging system, need a battery, need a seat, and then this thing should run. It sounds beautiful, sounds good. When it did run, we got her all strapped in. And yeah, I'll tell you a little story here in a minute. Once we get on the road, I'll tell you the story of why. Why are we getting this bike? And what we're gonna do with it. But that's it right there, guys. She's pretty. 2001 Kawasaki Vulcan 1500 Drifter. And yeah, we should be golden, guys. This is going to be fun project. So we do have a problem. The front fender sticks out way too far beyond the tire, and the tire's kind of flat. And we're kind of bending the fender. It's plastic. I'm hoping when we get home in a couple hours that'll fix itself. Notice how I have it strapped to the forks, not the handlebars. If you strap to the handlebars, you compress the suspension, and either you compress it all the way, which is not good for a few hour drive, or you got to leave it somewhat where it can bounce. And you can bend handlebars, you can ruin your suspension over time. I prefer to go straight to the forks. Now the whole entire bike can bounce as it's meant to do with its suspension, and it's not going to bend anything, break anything. It does. Oh, I do need to kick this kickstand up. There we go. Okay. Woohoo! I'm excited, guys. It's been a few years since the V-Star 1100. For those of you that didn't know, I have quite a few of those videos on the channel, including when we went dark side and put a car tire on the rear. Yes, I plan on doing that with this bike too. Check that playlist out, check that thing out. It's pretty nice. I want to take the key so I don't lose it, when in all reality I won't lose it if I leave it there, but whatever. But yeah, pretty stoked, guys. I got a good deal on it, or what I'm hoping is a good deal. We'll find out after we replace the rectifier and see if she actually runs. All right, so why are we getting this bike? One, who doesn't want a bike? But that's not the reason we got the bike. The reason we got the bike is actually because of my uncle, sort of. So my uncle is a huge biker fan, and my aunt, and they bike everywhere. They love the bikes. They're huge bike fans. Well, when we moved to Sturgis last year, well, let me watch the bike, make sure our straps are holding out good. Very nice. Okay. So when we moved out here to Sturgis, first thing my uncle thought, I'm sure, is, oh, good grief, we want to go to the Sturgis Rally, and there's Jeremy, he lives there now. Which is fantastic, that's great, I have no problem with that. But they're planning on coming up for the rally, and he sent me a message asking, or not asking, he pretty much said, hey, we're coming up for the rally, get yourself a bike so we can go riding. Now that was meant in good jest, I know that. But I was like, that's a good idea. So I've been watching Facebook Marketplace, I've been looking at things. My uncle actually suggested part of that was getting a rental, because I don't know how fast speed limit is, 65, okay, we're good. To get a rental, and I was like, you know what, that's a good idea. So I looked, oh come on, stop moving guys. So I looked into the rental option, and it is insanely expensive during the rally. That's subjective, obviously. You guys stop moving, that'd be great. So it's insanely expensive during the rally, which is, yes, that's a subjective statement. But for me, for the price of what I just spent on this bike, it would be the same amount as it would take to rent a bike for a week. So I was like, well, that don't make no sense. Yeah, if you rent a bike, you have no maintenance obligations, none of that. You can just jump on it and go, pay for your insurance and hope for the best. It's just not the same as having your own bike. And especially if you can get an older one that needs some work, you can get it for really cheap, a few $100. So that's why I got this bike. I got it super cheap. I got a good deal on it. It needs work. It does run. So we hooked it up to the battery was dead, so we hooked it up to the guy's truck because he didn't have a trailer. It was easier to maneuver, and we were able to fire the bike up. Fired up no problem, and which is good considering it's, you know, below freezing out here. And so we got it fired up no problem. Made me happy. That's good. It was stone cold when I got there, not like most people that fire it up, so it's nice and warm when you get there. And while it was running, I'm like, oh hey, we don't need these jumper cables anymore. So I took it off, took the jumper cables off, and the bike died immediately. So I'm like, oh crap. So we tried it again, we let it run for a few minutes, and again I took the jumper cables off and it died immediately. So that tells me the charging system's toast. We're gonna have to look into that situation. Hopefully that's not a big deal. But it does run. The seat is broken, the mounting points are broken on the seat. Obviously not great, so we're gonna need a new seat. And then what else do we need? That's it for now that I know of immediately off the top of my head. So a good deal, good price, I'm happy. So yeah, there's that. So we're gonna fix it up. You'll see videos on the channel coming soon. We might use it for the rally and then sell it after, because I mean, there's only a few months of the year I can ride, and I really don't ride that much. That's one of the reasons I didn't mind getting rid of the V-Star, is because I never rode it. Not because I didn't want to, but because I got the kids, we got family. So anywhere I go, I end up toting people around. People, my family. And if I'm not toting them around, I'm usually going to go buy something slightly big, like car parts and stuff. So I never really got to ride it. The only time I could ride it was to work and back, which I did. And that was fun and all. But here, I can only do that a few months a year because, you know, snow and ice. So I don't know what we're going to do or how long we're going to keep it, but we're going to have it at least through the rally, get it running before the rally. Hopefully we can go dark side on it. Hopefully that's just a rough road, not a bad tire. Hopefully we can go dark side on it, maybe even double dark side, I don't know. And I really don't know anything about these bikes. It's big and clunky, just like the V-Star. That's about all I know. So yeah, we're gonna play with it, figure out what's going on, and yeah, we'll see what it holds. Either way, expect some videos coming your way soon on the 2001 Kawasaki Vulcan 1500 Drifter. In the meantime, we're just gonna cruise on home, guys. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna have to shovel the driveway out when I get home because that's full of snow too. I'm not gonna be able to get this thing in the garage with the driveway full of snow. So we're gonna have to do that. That's okay. Nothing I don't know how to do. Just a bummer. I was hoping it'd all melt off today, and it might, but our front of our house is not in the sun. Same with the front of the garage. So that never melts. So I gotta shovel that regardless, but we'll do that when we get home. Stay tuned. You got a little buried. All right, guys, we got her home. She's full of road grime. What's funny is I stopped a few miles away from home and I took this through the quarter wash, the self wash, and tried to hose it off, and it doesn't look that much better, but after 190 miles of road grime, that's to be expected. But we got her home, so she is going to take some work. It's not going to be a jump on and ride kind of situation. The seat is here, but it's all broken up on the backside. The plastic is all snapped apart, so we're gonna buy a new seat. We need a rectifier, alternator, whatever you want to call them here on the bikes. We need a battery, and then we can hopefully take this on the road and see what else it might need. Gotta be careful, you guys can't see stuff over here. It's a project you're not allowed to see yet. So yeah, that's her. So I'm pretty excited. I'm happy to be back in the bike game. Can't wait to ride. It's supposed to be nice this week. Well, it is nice this week. It is 40 degrees right now. It's just got to melt, 6 inches of snow, which it's working on it. But yeah, hopefully we can get this stuff going so we can take a ride, because I'm really excited to ride again. So I'm gonna have to go dig out all my motorcycle gear and my PPE and all that stuff here soon. But yeah, guys, if you want to see all the videos coming on this, make sure you hit subscribe, hit the bells. I know for me, I'm subscribed to other people, and there's people that I really enjoy watching, that I watch every single week when they post a video, and for some reason I have to go search their videos. They don't just pop up on my feed. I don't understand. I don't know if mine do that to you as well. So every single Friday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I post a video. Some Tuesdays, but not every Tuesday. So if you want to make sure you see those, search for me every Friday after 3 p.m. There's going to be a bunch of videos coming on this. We've got the Titan as always. We've got the Super Duty. We obviously have the Expedition over there. Plenty more coming. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.